nobody would dare do a show like that and try to compete with other shows. Because everybody is afraid that nobody will be interested in a show like this. I mean, like, it's a one-of-a-kind show. I mean, no one else shows a show like this. No one else shows a show that's of mixed different people are mixed together.
Someone's singing in there.
Yeah, real loud.
Hey, it's Ann from school.
Bean Sprouts is really getting what kids think. I mean, they're not giving them lines. They're not giving them lines that they like. Sometimes the kids help with the lines. I mean, I've been helping with the lines sometimes. I mean, I think children outside of California or far away in California would be very interested in the show. They to see things new they had never seen before. Maybe they haven't seen the lion dance, never, or they haven't ever seen the way Chinese people really act. I mean, maybe they see the chopsticks for the first time. That's very unusual, but maybe they do. The producers think that no one is interested in that, and that everybody's going to go around thinking, well, I want to go see the soap opera. I've missed it for a whole week, and Bob is about to die, and we don't know whether she's going to die or not. They don't show things that are real. I mean, they just make up these stories and then they put them on the air. I mean, it's not bad or anything, but I think that they don't do anything real life, and they're not very careful either about what they have the kids say or what they have grown-ups say. It's not all real.
Dr. Johnson.
Dr. Johnson.
900 Jefferson Street.
900 Jefferson Street 喺邊度去啊？
你過咗嗰條街，轉右，跟住斜去。有冇搭巴士？到此呢度慢擺。
Are this your friends?
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's go, guys. Hey, I didn't know your mother speaks English. She doesn't, but she just did.
You think that the Chinese kids in this show or Chinese people act like they really act?
Yeah. I think that there are a few parts that I did that were pretty real. Dumb, but real. Sometimes when I was trying to climb up or like, swing on the finger of Columbus, I think that was pretty real. I think that was pretty good.
What do you mean by real? You mean it looked real?
Yeah, I mean, any kid would do it. I mean, we made it up. You didn't ask us to swing on it.
That's right. You did it, and I just said, that looks terrific. Let's shoot it. Are you saying that there are a lot of other little moments like that in this show?
Yeah.
Where you think, kids act real?
Yeah.
On the whole, do you think the kids in the show are pretty real?
Yeah.
In this series?
Yeah.
Hey, look at the fish. He's just tossed it in.
Look. I thought those red things were cherries at first.
Yeah.
How about
Those crispy things.
Yeah, they look like Spanish tortillas.
Those look like tobacco.
No, they have sweet rice in them. They're good.
Tobacco with sweet rice.
Does Bean Sprouts feel real to you? Are you saying that
Yeah,
it's real?
I mean, it's about real kids and real things, problems and things that kids have.
Those are real problems and real kids.
Yeah.
You feel the show is like that, it's real.
Yeah.
What do you think of the way they end up? I mean, the problem is presented and then something happens, right?
Yeah.
What is it that happens with those problems?
Well, usually they're worked out. I think they're always worked out.
What do you think of the way they're worked out?
Well, usually the friends help, and I think that's pretty nice. And that's really what happens. The friends help.
Friends help.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all talk to action, man.
Get out of here.
No, this agreement's been writing stuff about me all over the school.
No way,
I ain't say anything about it. There it is. Yeah, come on. What's the matter? Are you his buddy?
Yeah, yeah.
Aren't you too short to be his buddy?
Maybe, but I am anyway.
Hey, little squirrel, why don't you pick a friend your own size? Get out of here. Get! Hey, get out of here.
Good boy!
Do you think there's anything about the ideas in the show that were kind of dumb or corny? Ideas now, not the way it was acted, but ideas in the show that you thought were corny or everybody knows that or something like that?
I just thought that the fantasy part in show 1, part with the mirrors.
I mean, what are kids gonna think? I mean, this is a serious show where they're really interviewing kids and what they really think. Why all of a sudden is all this fantasy stuff coming on?
You think that's not a good idea?
Well, I thought it was pretty neat. I mean, any kid would think it was neat. They'd love to be in that room dressing up like that. But I'm just saying that it's all real, so real, then it becomes a fantasy.
Oh,
That was a shock to me.
Oh, the shock of the real interview in the yard and everybody's talking, and then suddenly the change to this room where everybody's playing.
And it's all fantasy.
It's a
I mean,
big
how
change.
did we get into a superstar's room?
What was the
The
mistake?
part where we were looking into the
Coffee shop.
to the coffee shop. No one would stay that long just to see a bunch of kooks sing.
You thought that was uninteresting? You thought those were like kooks singing?
Well, it was very interesting.
Was not?
No. Yeah, most of the time you're just sitting there like a bore. It's like a bore. But I thought it was funny when me and Isabel laughed because we thought the man was singing funny.
Did you think that singing was boring?
Yes!
Boring, huh?
Boring.
Not interesting song.
If you didn't know the words, yes. But I thought it was neat the way they made the cocoa, or whatever it was.
That steam milk stuff.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah,
You think a
especially
kid-
the way it flowed over.
A kid would like to see that.
Yeah. I mean, I never saw anything like that. I've never seen anything like that except for the first time I ever went to that coffee shop. And Daddy ordered it.
So a kid would like to see that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Emi awaloro lesiotan, baba lesiotan, baba lesiotan. Emi awaloro lesiotan, baba lesiotan, baba lesiotan. Emi awaloro lesiotan.
What are they making? It's like a pizza. No, it's a tortilla. It's like bread, but it's made from corn.
Would a kid like to see tortilla making?
Sure, I'm sure.
Would a kid like to see that that fellow who was in the park teaching the kids how to sing? And he was teaching them the meaning of that song.
Oh yeah.
And they were shaking the maracas.
Yeah.
That's all interesting.
Yeah.
That we're gonna bring, that we are like water to him, and he can drink from us.
But I'm glad that you didn't spend a terrible amount of time having him explain the words of the song. That would be terribly boring.
Was there enough? Do you think it was interesting to know something about what the meaning of that song was?
Yeah.
Just
Just
enough.
a little, just enough.
Just enough.
I mean, because if you just stood there learning a whole new language, it would be boring.
Yes, it would also take a long time. What about inside of Arturo's house? Was that interesting to show?
Oh, well, that was pretty real.
Are you glad that his mother was shown to speak to him in Spanish, or do you think it doesn't matter, or what do you
Well, I
think?
thought it mattered.
Is that a good or bad thing to show? Or do you think it
That's a
doesn't
good
matter?
thing to show, and it does matter.
Hello? This is Arturo. Oh, hi, Carrie.
What's good about it and why does it matter?
It matters because, like, wouldn't it matter to you if, like, suppose someone thought you only knew Chinese? Would that be true?
Wait a minute, again, explain that again.
Well, he does know American and Spanish, doesn't he?
Oh, I see. You mean it shows that he speaks Spanish at home besides speaking
Yeah,
English?
I mean, like, he doesn't always speak American everywhere. I mean, it's not like he has completely turned from his culture. He is now a 100% American, and he doesn't do anything Spanish anymore. It's not like that. He speaks Spanish at home, doesn't he?
And that's good?
Mhm.
Why?
Because you're not like you come to a new country and you're not completely learning. You are learning a new culture, but you're not getting rid of your old one.
And that's good.
Yeah.
You don't think it's good to get rid of your old culture?
No.
Why not?
Because it's what you were born. You were born to that kind of family. So don't you
And-
think you'd still want to know? You know.
What happens to people who give up their culture, give up their old culture?
Well, I think they go into some other way of living, and I think that well, I don't think anyone does that. Gives up their old culture completely.
Why not?
I don't know why. It just never happens. I just think that they just don't want to let go of their past.
Don't want to let go of their past.
Yeah.
What was the best part and the worst part of Bean Sprouts, looking at it as a show?
I think the part I liked best was the part when she went to get interviewed by that guy. I just seem to think that, for one thing, he's a weird guy, and for another thing, it's really how people act. People really act that way.
Well, I want to
Some
be an
people.
airline stewardess.
Flight attendant, that's what we call them.
Oh, flight attendant. Well, I want to be a flight attendant because it would be exciting to travel and meet a lot of people. And I think I could be a good flight attendant. What kind of person are you looking for?
You have to be at least 20 years old, are you? And you should be a high school graduate. That should be no trouble. Most of our Chinese candidates have college degrees.
I mean, it's sort of funny, you know, just to hear him try to get her to do what most responsible, reliable Chinese women do.
In our company, a lot of our Chinese employees work in the accounting department. You know, with your background, I think we've got an excellent opportunity for you.
You mean sales agents have to sit all day in front of a computer?
Well, that's how you make plane reservations these days.
But I heard you needed flight attendants.
Well, that's right, but we also need good sales agents. Well, it's hard to find people that are dependable and hardworking and patient. With your background, you'd be good at it.
I thought that that's really the way some people are. I mean, they think that Chinese are very reliable, and that Chinese run this kind of a good shop, and they don't run that kind of a good shop, and Chinese Americans do this well, but they don't do that well. They're not very pretty, but they're very good at this. And I don't think you ought to be an airline stewardess because I think that she took it pretty well. I mean, she could have sat there and, you know, said, "Oh, all right, I'll take it. I'll take your computer job or something." But she, you know, she just stood up for the job she really wanted. Where's the candy? Have one. Candy. All right.
What about that crazy tourist in the shop?
Okay, that was a lot like the guy who was interviewing her.
How do you think the older sister felt about him?
I think she felt he was a kook.
When she pulled those slippers away, what was
She was
doing?
trying to get them out of his sight so he wouldn't see them, so he wouldn't like them, there was no way he could like them if he hadn't seen them. she wasn't just thinking about the money. You can just tell, or else she would have just given to him just for the money.
Why would she not want him to have those slippers?
They were beautiful slippers,
They were what?
and she probably liked them for herself.
You think they represented anything else to her?
Maybe, maybe they were the kind of slippers that showed something that she really liked in them. I thought it was pretty smart, because if he did see them and he thought they were nice, he probably would take them home, put them in a pile of junk in his closet, and never take them out. Maybe just show it around to his neighbors as a joke. Look at this dragon on the side, and then throw it in the closet and never see it again. And Roy, and I would do it too. I would pull those slippers right out of his sight. I wouldn't want some tourist who was going to pack it up with everything else and just throw them away as soon as he got home.
So you're saying that guy that was acting like such a jerk
Kids in my school really do make fun like that.
didn't seem exaggerated to you?
No, they do it all the time at school. They do it worse than that. And when they start trying to talk Chinese, they go ching chong, or they go Chinese, Japanese, Indian, see, and they start
So Confucius said when in Chinatown must dress like Chinese do.
Do you think that kind of behavior offends the Chinese kids or the Asian kids?
Of course. I mean, wouldn't you feel bad if someone, like suppose you're Italian and someone comes up to you, mazza, would you like some pizza? Which kind would you like? Cheese, sausage, or tomato?
What do you think will happen when kids who do that sort of thing see this kind of show?
Well, they might feel bad or ashamed of themselves.
They might.
Some might not even feel ashamed of themselves or so mean, but I think most of them would feel that maybe they were wrong about what they had done.
They might recognize that this guy is doing the same kind of thing that they do, you know?
Yeah, and they realize how silly he looks and how stupid he's being, and how mad that they are. And then they'll think, oh, well, what about my friends? I mean, I didn't know they would be that mad, you know.
But you're saying there are some kids who do it because
themselves.
Yeah, and they just don't know that other people are hurt by that and feel that way, and so.
And then when they find out, then they say, "Oh God," and they kick themselves and everything, and then they don't do it anymore. I guess.
I see.
There's some people who are just plain mean.
Say that again. Some people just plain mean.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think the other kids in the show had a good time making the show?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Just the takes that wasn't so fun.
Do you think the other kids like the show as much as you do?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you think they like about it? Do you think they like it for the same reason or different reasons?
I can't speak for them. I can't speak for them.
You don't know?
No, I don't really know.